Hello, my name is Courtland, and I did my paper on the different types of birth control. Birth control is also known as contraception. It's any method used to prevent pregnancy. It prevents sperm and egg from uniting to form a fertilized embryo. To back up that little bit of information, I used the source called Medline Plus. It was an article on birth control and contraception. It's hard to believe only safe and effective birth control has been around since the 20th century. Now, men and women are able to choose from multiple types of birth control, from pills to shots, patches, barriers, implants, and other methods. Birth control methods date back to 3000 BC, where condoms were made from fish bladders. Since 3000 BC, condoms were made from linen sheaths, vulcanized rubber, and all kinds of things. In 1873, an act was passed in the U.S. to prohibit the advertisements, information, and distribution of birth control. In 1960, though, this amazing woman named Margaret Sanger opened the first birth control clinic, even though it was illegal, and she went to jail several times. Finally, in 1938, the judge lifted the ban on birth control, ending the Comstock Act. Since then, Sanger funded a research project to find safe and effective birth control. Those trials began in 1956. They had to use patients in Puerto Rico because American women were too mobile. They were at work and doing all kinds of things. But the patients in Puerto Rico had to meet 4 criteria. They had to be in good health, under 40, have at least 2 children to prove they were fertile, and had to agree to have the child if they became pregnant during the clinical trial. Then on June 23, 1960, the first oral contraceptive was approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which is also known as the FDA. Since 1960, the approval of many more forms of birth control have been approved. Hormonal methods of birth control use hormones to stop ovulation and prevent pregnancy. The hormonal methods of birth control can come in pills, injections, skin patches, vaginal rings, intrauterine systems, and implantable rods. Depending on the hormone that's used, the methods can stop ovulation, thicken cervical mucus, and they can block sperm from reaching the egg or thin the line of the uterus. Excuse me. They also make barrier methods of birth control. Barrier methods of birth control are designed to prevent sperm from entering the uterus. The most common barrier method would be the male condom. The male condom obviously is a thin sheath that covers the penis and collects sperm, and it doesn't let any sperm enter the woman's uterus. They also make female condoms, which are thin little plastic pouches that a woman places in her, again, prevent sperm from entering the uterus, and both those barrier methods are only a one-time use. After sex, you get rid of them. They also create this thing called spermicide. Spermicide is a is a combination of different birth controls, and they usually come in like a jelly, a cream, a suppository, or a film. It's sometimes used with combination of other birth controls, but they do not prevent any STDs or anything. Birth control has come a long way since 3000 BC, though. Women and men are now able to choose from multiple types of birth control. A partner's choice of birth control depends on several factors. These factors include their health, frequency of sexual activity, number of sexual partners, and their desire to have children. In my paper, I use the references from a brief history of birth control, which was a research paper, Medline Plus, Planned Parenthood, and an article on what are the different types of birth control. So much information to put into a 5-minute video, and I hope I chose the right key points. Thank you for watching.